Okay, so it's spring, right? Y'all, it is spring officially. Officially spring. And it was 74 degrees here in Chicago. And what did I decide to do? I decided to look like I was like a kindergartner or something, a third grade with these braids and this dress. So yeah, that was me today. And so now it's the end of the day and I have my refreshing iced tea cocktail. Don't worry, you'll be hearing about this soon in my favorites. So as we get into spring, I want to talk about some of my favorite notes, but talk about the spring edition of those notes. So if you want to hear about tuberose, because you can't start doing these notes like this without doing tuberose, and my spring tuberoses, y'all know, just don't go anywhere. Okay, so if you are new to my channel, you need to know tuberose is one of my favorite notes. I have so many tuberose fragrances, heavy notes. Oh, I got an itch. Hold on. Okay, felt like I need to put a little lipstick on too, y'all. Because I haven't been wearing makeup. I think part of the reason why is because a lot of times I do these videos on the fly. Like right now, I need to be finish up a midterm. But I said I wanted to do this video. So in order to do it, I didn't have time to like put on makeup and everything. But I really do want to put on some makeup. But man, life has been taking that away from me for a while. And it's quite annoying. Quite annoying. All right, hold on. Let's keep talking. Okay, so let's talk tuberose. Tuberose is a stunning white floral. If you have never tried it, I'm about to show you some things that you need to try. And if you are a tuberose lover, I'm probably going to show you something that you need to put in your collection. You need to put in your collection. But these are my more warm weather tuberoses, because tuberose can be very heavy. You know, it has that bubblegummy sweetness to it, and it can be very rich. It can be very, very sweet. It can be very animalic and quite sensual. And but these are my more floral, a little brighter. They might have some sweetness to it, but it's not quite as deep or it's not quite as rich, and something that you should be wearing in the wintertime because it's just so much and it can be overpowering and cloying. So these are the ones you need for this type of weather, for warm weather, things like that. Some even better and could still be going into summer. Some primarily, you know, you want to wear what's cooler. You make the choice. So let's get started. Now, I could not do this and start off without showing this. This is, y'all know, if you've been on my channel, my other channel, you know how I feel about this, how I feel about this fragrance. This honestly can be worn all year round, every occasion. Let's say it with me, wild motherfucking python. This is a classic, just beautiful white floral. It is not for everybody because it does have this, I don't want to say mature, but I want to say classic vibe. So it's a very sophisticated, very elegant, very timeless fragrance. So this is Wild Python. If you've gotten Wild Python and love it because of me, put it in the comments. I need people, so the new people be like, oh dang, this is for real, this is for real. Now, honestly, Wild Python came up second to this one. This took me down, put me on the Amouage train, and I absolutely love it. This is Honor Woman. This is Country Club, you know, generational money, you know, trust fund baby. This is what this is. This is classic Baby, this is just a beautiful white floral. You cannot go wrong. If you want to be classic, if you're going to an event where you just want to just be like that lady in the corner who's just looking around and everybody comes to you, that's Honor Woman, because you are effortlessly chic. You are effortlessly elegant. That's what Honor Woman is. Now let's just stay on the Amouage train because I have quite a few tuberoses from Amouage. Didn't know I had that many, but let's go. Now this one is the rage. Everyone loves this one. This is Love Tuberose. Now this is a little more sweet. It's got whipped cream in it, but it has a lightness of whipped cream. Whereas, you know, sometimes a tuberose can be heavy with like that velvet, like Velvet Vanilla by Mancera. Where this is a sweet yet light and airy tuberose. So it is perfect for springtime. It is perfect for like when you want to be just your extra girly, flirtatious self, but in quite to the posh and swanky way. So this is Love Tuberose by Amouage. Now this one is Figment Woman. This one took me out last summer. I wore this last summer. Now I know it doesn't look like I wore a lot. It's because I had a decant of it, which I have gotten rid of. It is no longer. I gotta fill it up again. But anyway, this is Figment Woman. This is quite an interesting fragrance. You have to wear it because it has this like kind of, it's like got this weirdness to it, and I cannot explain it, but the weirdness is good. It's kind of like a sweet yet kind of spicy in a very, but not like what you expect. I cannot really explain it. The name makes sense, called Figment, because it starts one spot, you know, it starts one space, it starts one place and then it morphs and you get this figment. But the tuberose is beautiful, and it's quite the unique. This has a uniqueness about it. It's not like every other tuberose you'll ever have, but it stands out and it is beautiful and it is a compliment getter. Should I do a compliment getter? I've never done a compliment getter video. I've never done one, never. So if y'all would, I don't know, maybe I'll do that one day. But anyway, the bottle is stunning and it is just this really slightly mysterious tuberose for the spring and summer, and it's perfect in summertime, honey. I wore it all summer. 80 degrees. I was wearing Figment. All right, next up is another classic. Everybody talks about this one, and I'm not going to take nothing away from it. This is Chinatown by Bond No. 9. Now this has a slight spiciness to it, but what I love about it, it has like this clean, there's this clean underlying cleanness about Chinatown, and it has a delicacy about it. I know other people, you know, it lasts. This baby lasts, but it has this delicate nature to it. I feel very dainty when I'm wearing Chinatown, but I also feel kind of sexy in this very girly type of way. So this is Chinatown by Bond No. 9. Absolutely love it. Now this is very affordable, sometimes hard to find, but it goes in and out of stock, so when you see it, get it. This is La Perla's Contemporary Tuberose. Now this is a classic tuberose. It is kind of on the line of Fracas, but it's a much lighter version of it. It's very attractive and very crowd pleasing. So this is like a tuberose. This is a good starter tuberose in this genre, where you're not looking for one that's real heavy, real sweet and bubblegummy. You want it to be you want a floral one, but you still want to feel glamorous wearing it. Contemporary Tuberose by La Perla. Then we have, oh, I almost forgot to do this one. Now, L'Entrée. listen, L'Entrée is a classic, right? We love L'Entrée in all its forms, all of its forms, right? But this is my springtime one. This is L'Entrée EDT. This one, whereas the other ones, the EDP, the Intense, Rouge, all of them, Melissima, they are very strong. They're very sweet. You know, they have a sweetness to them. They're that kind of, you know, just a sweeter tuberose. This is a floral. This is much fresher. This is green. This is much more natural feeling. Tuberose has a very sexiness, a sexiness to it, but it's that kind of effortless, you know, pigtails and this type of dress, and you would feel sexy. You know what I'm saying? Because this is not a sexy look, but put on this L'Entrée EDT and it'll make it a little bit sexy. Give you that kind of sexy schoolgirl, and I don't mean from like, because I work in a high school, I mean like sexy schoolgirl from an adult who's trying to, you know, pretend like she's a sexy schoolgirl. Like if you you know, I gotta qualify that because I work in a school. I don't think school girls should be considered sexy. That's pretty creepy, if you ask me. I'm just saying. Grown men looking at girls in high school like, ooh, she's so sexy. Sorry, y'all. I just had that moment. Now, I don't know. That almost, it seems like in almost every genre, I find one of these. I don't, maybe not in that one. That one I don't. That's a good one. I'm looking at a list. Anyway, we have Elizabeth Arden's Fifth Avenue. Y'all know, this is a classic. This is a classic. It's a stunner. It is a stunner, right? And at one point, we know that Elizabeth Arden was expensive, but she ain't now. And this is such a classy tuberose. It's a, you know, kind of, we're going to say cultured, maybe. We're not going to say mature. We're going to say she's cultured. She's one of those ladies who lunches with her friends and discusses, and she's in a book club and they discuss, you know, the classics and things like that. That is who wears Elizabeth Arden, Fifth Avenue. Man, I had to think about that for a second, what I was talking about. Now, this is a favorite of mine, too. This is Molinard's Tuberose Vertigineux. This is a very green, just bright. This just reminds me of springtime. This is like when you are out, when it finally gets, when the spring really gets here, like in our colder areas, when the flowers are out and they're blooming and you just get this breeze that intoxicates you. That is Tuberose Vertigineux. Now, of course, we're not growing tuberose too much here, but I'm just saying that vibe, you know. So when I wear this, I just feel so like alive. It's just like this bright, alive, just botanical, floral tuberose. Ugh. Makes me just feel good about myself. Makes me feel good about myself and my choices. Next up are these two. Look. Now, this is one of my favorite houses. And these are some of the ones that got me started loving this house. This is Histoires de Parfums. This is Tuberose number 1, Capricious. Now, this is the one that I bought last because I wasn't sure about the notes. But then I got it and I was like, girl, what was you thinking about? What was you thinking about? Baby, this is so good. This is, now in these, they have tuberose on every level. But what happens on this one, it has a bright iris note to it. So when you first put spray it on, it's very floral iris, not powdery, but like if you were outside in springtime and the irises are in bloom and it's a nice patch of them, and you get this beautiful iris. That's what this smells like in the beginning, and then it dries down and the tuberose comes out, and the tuberose is another nice, beautiful bright floral. So this is a very bright fragrance. It's very enchanting. It's something that, you know, I want to wear like when I'm just being my extra girly self. This is one of those, right? This is sundresses. This is Easter. You know, this is like wearing it to church on Easter because it's going to just be uplifting and beautiful. So that is tuberose number 1. I know I'm not telling y'all all the notes, but all I care about right now is the tuberose, okay? Okay? That's all I'm saying. Then this is the other first one I bought. Was Tuberose Virginal, tuberose number 2, right? This one has tiare flower in it. It's got a little frangipani. It's got cherry in it. Now, I know you're like, what? Together, this makes this just a very provocative tuberose. It is not animalic. It is very gorgeous and perfect for breezy days in the summertime. Like I always say, like at first I was like, oh, this is a cute little fragrance. And then I was outside sitting on my porch and the breeze hit it and I was like, oh my God, it's very glamorous. It is very intoxicating. Even though it has the frangipani and the tiare, it's not super tropical. It's not super like, oh my God, this is summertime. No, this is perfect. It has this dreaminess to it. It's just a very, I mean, all of these are super, to me, super feminine, very girly, very much makes me feel like, yay, I'm glad to be a girl. So that's one of those. And the cherry in this is, it's subtle. So it's not like this cherry is going to like jump out at you. But maybe I should layer it with the cherry fragrance to see how that'll come out. Okay, let me think about that. But anyway, the cherry is very subtle in here. And so, because it's more about the florals. So if you're looking for, you're like, oh, that sounds really good for the cherry. Don't get it for the cherry because you'll be disappointed. But anyway, this is Tuberose Virginal by Histoires de Parfums. Then we have, let's get into, now this one. If y'all can find this at a good price, get it. This is Teo Cabanel's Lace Garden. This is a citrusy tuberose. So the citrus gives it this fizziness to it. Makes it quite lovely to wear. Just, I really enjoy this one. But like I said, it's definitely got an airy quality to it that makes it perfect for summertime, however, warmer weather. However, it does last. There's a freshness to it. There's a little crispness to it, but it still has that seductive siren-like vibe of a good tuberose. And so it is on that borderline between it being like a sweeter tuberose and the fresh ones, and it sits on that line and it's gorgeous. So that is Teo Cabanel's Lace Garden. Then we have this, and I had heard about this and heard about this, not heard about it all over the place, but I had, you know, when you watch stuff about tuberose, you be hearing about stuff and you be like, oh, I need some of this. Oh, I need some of this. So let me just make a spray of this because it's been a minute since I wore it, like last year. That's why I'm busting them out. And this is Noix de Tuberose by Miller Harris. There is something quite unique about this. In the beginning, it has this kind of floral quality, but it's not just tuberose. I can't remember. I don't have all the notes in front of me. And I didn't want to just, you know, be reading off notes. But there's a crispness to it and a greenness to it that makes this quite interesting. So it has a slight, it's a little bit unique, you know, it's a little bit unique in my spring tuberose collection. I like everything to have its own little vibe. Now, of course, they're all going to be slightly similar because the main note is tuberose, but I like those supporting notes to give it a little difference. And so this one, when I wear it, it's kind of got this clean, almost soapy vibe to it, but not bubbly soap. You know, it's like when you smell a beautiful bar of soap, as opposed to like bubble bath, like when everybody talks about bubble bath and it's like bubbly. No, this is like if you go and you smell some French soap. So it has that kind of French soap. Like if you had a big bar of soap and just took it to your nose and was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. That is kind of the vibe of it. And then so it has that kind of floral vibe, that clean, soapy floral vibe. That's really beautiful. So that is Noir de Tuberose by Miller Harris. Sorry, this drink is calling my name. Now, I'm not gonna let y'all down. Good Girl Gone Bad by Kilian. Tuberose osmanthus. It's gorgeous. We all know it is. It's a classic and it is beautiful. It's just not Good Girl Gone Bad. It's Good Girl. It's Good Girl walk. This is Good Girl jaywalking. You know, that's about as bad as she is. This is about as bad as Good Girl Gone Bad is. Good Girl jaywalking. There we go. But in its defense, it's a classic. It's beautiful. It's perfect for, you know, brunch. I love this for brunch or anything like that, like where you want to be beautiful and posh, but you're not, you just kind of laid back with your beautiful poshness. Okay, I almost forgot this one. This is Moresque Lady Tuberose. These things are beautiful. I know, if you're a tuberose lover and you like you want a spicy, gingery tuberose, this is what you want. And even though it's spicy, it still has this kind of like airiness to it. And that's why it's perfect for this time of year, because there's still this airiness to it, and the spice gives it this kind of like zing, right? It gives it a zing that makes it just like, so I love this in Jasmination. But this is like the tuberose version of it, and it's heavy on the tuberose. Tuberose is intoxicating. It is gorgeous. It sits there like, yeah, I'm a tuberose. But it is just breath. It just makes me, you know, when I'm wearing it, ooh, it smells so good. It lasts so long, and it does have a slightly soapy vibe to it, but who cares, because the tuberose is so beautiful. So that is Lady Tuberose by Moresque. And I think this is the final one. Yes, this is the final tuberose. Yes, this is it for some springtime. This is Tuberose by Giordini Mancera. I talked about these in my new spring. And I got this like right when fall was starting, so it was still kind of warm. It was like springtime weather, you know what I'm saying? And so this is just super bright and light and floral. It is very attractive. There's a freshness to it, which this is the freshest tuberose I have. When I had it on, I was like, oh my God, this smells so good. It just felt like a dance. It felt like it was like this beautiful dance on my skin, because it wasn't heavy like some tuberoses can be. Does that make sense? That it wasn't as heavy as most tuberoses. It just felt like it was just dancing on my skin. And it was just beautiful and delightful. It was like very delightful to wear it. And like when I was wearing it, I was just like, wow, this just feels so good on. And that was the vibe that it gave me. So it was like very inviting to me and just like a delight to wear, because it was like going to work, probably because I was going to work not in the mood, you know, like, you know how you feel when you're going to work. But as I was breathing in, it pepped me up. It made me feel, you know, much brighter, and just like the day was going to be better, because this helped put that thought in my brain, because if you know anything, the nose has a direct connection to the brain, and so it can like change your mood. And so this was mood changing for me, for real. I know I made that way too deep, but it was the truth. That's all I'm saying. It was the truth. It was the truth. Hey, sue me for the truth. Okay, so anyway, that's it. That is it for my warm weather tuberoses. I think I gave y'all enough to work with. Do you have any of these? Are you contemplating any? Whatever you're thinking about these tuberoses, you put it in the comments. And even if you're going, oh, you got way too many tuberoses and you want to talk shit, go ahead, because I'm in a good shit talking mood anyway. So go ahead. Feel free to do that. I dare you. Anyway, it's your LuuLuu with her refreshing tea drink saying, see you later. Be bold, be brave, be fearless, be free.